Good afternoon, everybody out there in Viewerland, and welcome to the Wednesday edition, the Hump Day edition of The Rundown. My name is Mike Peworski. I will be your host today, but I do not do this program by myself.
No, you do not. My name is Craig DeLuz. I am coming at you from the left coast, and I will be your co-host today. My name is Craig DeLuz.
How are you doing today, Craig? How has things gone so far for you on this good Hump Day that we're enjoying here in the beautiful United States of America?
Well, I got a big project for a client coming up today, so I've actually been up quite early. Started the day quite early today, but I usually start the day pretty early anyway. But I am quite caffeinated at the moment.
Well, that's good if you're in the caffeine business, I guess. You get to make that money off of Craig. Make money.
Oh man! So hey, buddy, how did the tacos turn out?
Oh, listen, I made a couple hundred tacos last night for the veterans group that I'm involved with, and I think I sent you some pictures too because I told you I'd send you some pictures of them.
As a matter of fact, you did, and I have to admit, I was just looking at the pictures made me kind of hungry. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I did. I almost put some hot sauce on them and took a bite.
That's some good stuff right there. That's all. I mean, except for the tortillas, we bought those pre-made. Everything else was cut, made, prepped, marinated. The sauces were made, all handmade there. So everything was traditional and good to go. Good to go.
Very nice, very nice. You did a good job, sir. You did Street Tacos proud.
Listen, I woke up this morning and I thought I was ill. I was having tight in the chest and a little achy, and I thought, oh man, did I get the COVID? And I'm like, nope, it's just taco envy.
Just taco. Just a little taco in me.
A little taco envy. Now I gotta wait 6 days to do this again. So good stuff. But today's Hump Day, though. Hump Day.
It's the middle of the week, man. It's the beginning of the weekend.
That's it. Weekend for me has officially begun. I will be. I'm curious. Maybe we'll save this for a little bit later in the week. But do you have any 9/11 plans?
Do not have any 9/11 plans, to be quite frank with you. Actually going to be prepping for my father-in-law. We're having a little get together for my father-in-law's 73rd birthday. So I'm probably going to be doing some yard work on 9/11.
Gotcha. It doesn't matter what the event is; you're still doing yard work. So
pretty much.
What is today? It's Tuesday. We're doing yard work. Come on, Pops, get in the yard. There's more yard work to do. So
right.
That's it. Yeah. Listen, you got choices. You could pay rent or you could do yard work. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules. Governor Newsom did. Let's see. All right, here. Let's get to our first story of the day, shall we, sir? Let's talk about, and it's kind of been an ongoing theme. We've touched on it a little bit already, that the State Department, and I believe we did allude to it yesterday, has been blocking efforts for private organizations, non-government organizations, to do rescues of American citizens or American green card holders or others that were deemed critical to the American war effort over there. And that's a very small piece of them as well. I want you to think that there's a billion people that helped and now they want to get back over here. It's mostly passport holders and green card holders, people that we identified as special interest visitors that are coming back to our country, are the last group. This very last group. But we said the other day that the State Department was withholding clearance for aircraft, and people were whatever. Well, now there's a leaked email. There's always a leaked email, right? Unless there's a deleted email server, there's a leaked email, and the leaked email says exactly the instructions. It's not like one line or two lines, Craig. This is the exact directions and instructions given by the State Department. They go so far in here as to say that they have now two categories of clearance. So if you want to go to a neighboring country with a U.S. Immigration center set up, or if you want to go to a DOD airbase in another country, like the down in Doha, they have the Al Udeid airbase. That the two authorization levels they will give are not approved, nothing giving by the State Department, or the other one is we don't object. Like they can almost get out of it, like can almost weasel their way out of it. So this is how this process would work. The pilot, the aircraft owner, whatever, would go to the country of Kyrgyzstan and say, we would like to land there with from Afghanistan with American citizens or American green card holders on it, perhaps some special protected individuals. And usually that country would go, okay, what does your State Department say? Well, if the State Department says we don't object, guess what that incoming country does? They still say, no, that's not good enough. You have to give permission. You can't say I don't not give permission. You have to give permission. So it's crazy, but they're still continuing to deny Americans the opportunity to leave that country. If our government's not going to do it and these private entities want to do it, Craig, why shouldn't they be allowed to?
Well, it makes absolutely no sense. And I get their issue is they're saying, well, we can't guarantee if someone, we can't guarantee your safety in the airspace or anything like that above Afghanistan. Well, guess what? You can't guarantee their safety there on the ground in Afghanistan either. So you can't. I mean, you can't guarantee their safety where they're at. Now they're now ready to leave. Let them come. Period.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make it literally does not make any sense, and the State Department's directions on it or their explanation of it doesn't make any sense either. It is literally just sounds like they're just abandoning our people.
Abandoning the people, but not abandoning the idea that they're saving people. We're not going to be doing that. In fact, there was a group yesterday or 2 days ago now that got 4 people out on a private plane, and the State Department took credit for it, and then these individuals went, "Say what?" That's it. No. Here they are. Here's our plane. Here's the country we're in. Get bent, U.S. So, again, listen. Is the president running this? Listen, I don't think he's running his own meals. Let alone the country. Don't know why this is going on, other than it makes the State Department and the U.S. government look bad. So maybe we'll deny they exist. But how can you deny something that exists that the whole world knows exists? You can only stick your head in the sand so long while everybody else is watching what's going on.
Because he grew up in an era, and in most of his political career was in an era where the news was whatever the lamestream media said it was. And now they're not realizing that literally people can get on a cell phone and get video of exactly what is going on in real time. Thus circumventing him and his cronies in the media.
Yeah, it's you're right. I mean, there's really no other plausible reason for this other than that he still believes he can control the media. He can't control what's going on. Like you said, pick up a cell phone and call somebody on the ground there. It's Afghan Wireless, by the way, in case anybody wants to know the service provider's name. So that's true. No, I used to have a phone there. All right. Let's roll right along to our next story. Craig, we talk about vaccinations all the time. There was another fight yesterday between Dr. Fakey and Captain Florida down here. So I love watching and follow along. It's almost as good as the Dr. Fakey Rand Paul arguments in those fights. Just great stuff. Watching Fakey trying to get his way out of it. Anyway. New Jersey decided that they didn't have enough comments about what was going on in the vaccination world, so they had to get their piece of the news media. The colleges started back up again this semester at Rutgers University, formerly the University of New Jersey, now known as Rutgers University, and they decided they were going to have a vaccination program. Now, Craig, they said they were going to have vaccination for students. Well, whether you agree with that or you're not, remember this is your college education is not a right. We've already seen the Supreme Court say, sorry, you don't have standing. You have the opportunity to go elsewhere. When it came to other colleges, I believe that was we looked at Indiana College when we did that under Justice Barrett. So now we have a student in New Jersey at the Rutgers University that is not vaccinated. He's unvaccinated, and he's been denied admittance into class. But Craig, there's a little twist to this story.
Oh yeah, the twist is that he had never planned on going back to class. He wanted to continue virtual learning, and they had virtual learning. Well, they won't even let him attend virtually. In other words, supposedly the vaccine is to help keep other students safe, but if he's never going to be in class, what's the point? And even in the stuff that they put out, it specifically said if you plan on returning to campus, then you have to be vaccinated. Well, guess what? He's not returning to campus. He's literally just going to finish taking classes or keep taking classes at least this semester virtually. And they have said, no, that is not good enough. If you do not get vaccinated, you are not even allowed to take virtual classes.
Yeah, this is virtual. Virtual. They won't allow him to go to virtual class because he doesn't have a vaccine. Now, Craig, I'm curious, do they make the other students in the virtual classrooms wear masks?
It would only make sense according to their logic, which is virtually stupid.
Yeah, yeah. This is. I mean, this would have to be right.
Right.
It would have to. They'd have to. They'd also have to prove that they're running non UV lights, so nobody would be affected by those. Nobody would get skin cancer through
and you have to fix the air filtration system in people's home.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
obviously.
Right. That's right. They also want to see if to make sure there's no drugs or firearms in the home as well. To make sure it's a safe environment for in the person, not in person college learning. So it's the most moronic thing I think we've seen in the past day. So.
Well, it just goes to show you that once again, it's not about making people safe. It's about control.
Right.
And because we said you have to. Not we want to make people at school safe. It's just we're not concerned about that. We're concerned about making you do what you need to do. Well, he's trying to keep people safe by not going.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. This guy's. I don't know his reason, and I'm not sure that he even specified what his reasons for not being vaccinated were. But he's taking the responsible route and saying, "Listen, I'm not vaccinated." Maybe he's afraid to come out of his house. Maybe he doesn't want to go back to where there's other people. So he lessens the exposures. And he said, "I'm not going back there. I'm going to try and be responsible here." And they're like, "No, we're not talking about responsibility. We're talking about control." Right. And that's what this all comes down to again.
Well, and I once again, I keep hearing people calling themselves experts talking about if you get the vaccine, you're saving people's lives because you're stopping the spread. I'm like, you can still get COVID if you have the vaccine. You can still spread COVID if you have the vaccine. So explain to me exactly how you are stopping the spread by getting the vaccine. What you're doing by getting the vaccine for the period of time that the vaccine is effective, you're basically reducing the likelihood that you're going to wind up in the hospital or die. That's the efficacy of the vaccines, and that's during the time period in which it actually works.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. More and more, Craig, I'm hearing. Talked to another doctor yesterday. If you've had the virus. And you've been cleared from the virus, don't go get the vaccine. That's what's it's making people have those long-lasting effects afterwards because you have the artificial antibodies fighting with your natural antibodies that your body created. So don't do that. You're going to get it's going to linger and linger and linger, and you're not going to be any better off. You're already good with the antibodies. So, well, I'm sure we'll see more on that coming out soon. But let's go to more comedy in government, Craig. Let's move back out to, we're going to go to Texas today. We started in Portland, Oregon yesterday. If you recall, Portland, Oregon created a policy that said we will no longer fund official travel, or reimburse official travel to the state of Texas because of Texas. One of the reasons in Texas was the abortion law. They also cited other things, including many conservative values, the election laws, firearms laws, and other nonsense, as Portland defined it, that is abhorrent to their civilization. The Texas Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, not the guy from ESPN, different Dan Patrick. He decided he had a couple of words for the good folks out there in Portland. And Greg, I'll let you take those.
Well, first of all, he referred to Portland as a dumpster fire. And while that may sound
Yep.
a bit hyperbolic, it's pretty darn accurate. at least
Yep.
at,
Yep.
at least for most of at least half of 2020,
Yep.
Portland was literally a dumpster fire. It was a woke dumpster fire. He referred to the leadership in the city of Portland as depraved. And once again, I would say that he is correct because keep in mind, these are the very same folks who were saying we're not going to arrest anybody who's destroying property, who's attacking police officers with Molotov cocktails and trying to invade and destroy and burn down federal buildings. The mayor of Detroit, or not Detroit, of Portland, I'm sorry, another dumpster fire, but basically he said, yeah, no, we're not going to do anything. And it wasn't until they came after him specifically that finally they're like, whoa, okay, maybe we need to start enforcing some laws around here. Anyway, basically what he pointed out was how ridiculous the people in the city of Portland were and how this quote unquote ban is a joke because chances are, Texas will do just fine. Because here's what's happening. People aren't going to travel from Portland to Texas. They're just going to move from Portland to Texas.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If I was the lieutenant governor there, I think I might come up with some sort of a scholarship program for people to go to Portland. So let's reverse it. They're not going to even pay for Portland's not going to pay for anybody to go to Texas. Let's have Texas start giving away scholarships. Maybe not to Portland itself, but how about we'll take you to other larger cities in Oregon so you can see what a real city in Oregon looks like, and we'll publish all of those for Portland to see.
Start providing moving incentives for employees to move
there you go.
Small businesses and employees to move specifically
here?
from Portland to Texas.
Yep. Can you prove you're in the city of Portland? You want to move to Texas? Here's a $5,000 signing bonus.
There you go.
There you go. Show me a lease and some travel documents. Here's $5,000 to get on your way.
Oh, dude, all you'd really need is just say, look, we'll pay the return cost for your U-Haul truck.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, that's way up there. So listen, I think Texas is starting to handle it right. So good for Texas. Let's hope that Dan Patrick there can get everything done and get today's Sports Center done on time. All right, let's move to our good friends in the Great White North. Now, Craig, they have and I'm sure you're aware of this. They have an assault weapon ban in Canada. But do you know, Craig? Do you know when the assault weapon ban was written and put in place up there?
I believe it was a few years ago. Was it 2015 or 2016?
2020. I think is when
2020. Wow, I thought it was.
I believe they started toying around with it and they did some other things. But the official assault weapon ban. You're right, though. There was much firearm legislation that took place in 15 and 16, but their so-called assault weapon ban didn't take place until 2020. They had a shooting in Montreal back in '89. I think it was their post office, if I recall, where they had a number of people killed. But they have not had the TV media style mass shootings that America has had. And I believe that's just because of the news media, because anything that happens in America has got to get played. Now, remember, you're talking about a country with less than a 10% population that we have as well. So now Canada, we know, is an extremely friendly firearms nation outside of their major cities. Sound familiar? We have much in common with them. The one thing that we don't have in common with them is the Second Amendment. They did not see fit to put that in the Second Amendment after they became their own country rather than becoming part of the United States, which they had the chance to during the American Revolution, and they chose not to at that point. So they were on their own there when it came to getting Second Amendment rights. Their assault weapon ban, Craig, now in the country of Canada, the regulated part in that country, this was again prior to 2015, 2016, when they saw many law changes, was the barrel. Here it's the lower receiver. That's the serial numbered item. In Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, it appears to be the barrel. Right. So yeah, it appears to be the barrel. You froze there for a second, so that's the reason why I cut in.
So yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so it was the barrel in 2015, 16 up until then. Then they started to incorporate all these other parts. Now they have the assault weapon ban. Well, Trudeau there is up for re-election and not doing too well. And the Conservative Party majority, and that's run by, is it Aaron O'Toole, I believe it is. They vowed as part of their campaign promise to roll back the assault weapon ban and get back many of their firearms laws, firearms rights, given back to them. Well, the Conservative Party was addressed about that and said, well, what are you going to do with guns? What are you going to do with guns? Trudeau is trying to make it an issue. So they've changed course. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to leave all those in place, and then we'll let the people decide what to do. You know what that's called, Craig? That's called the backstroke. That's called copping out.
Oh, yeah.
That's called giving in to the man.
Yeah, well,
selling your soul.
He's being a tool is what he is.
That's right. That's right. He's O'Toole. He's a big O'Toole. Yeah.
So we should have known that it was coming, but that just goes back once again to go back to the look, folks. I get it. There are people out there who call themselves conservatives who are not with us on every issue, and they're particularly. They seem to, for some of them, seem to find it very easy to go against us when it comes to firearms because they're convinced that there's such a thing as reasonable gun laws or reasonable firearms restrictions. The problem is they have absolutely no idea what reasonable is. I mean, let me tell you what gun control is. Gun control. Look, that's what gun control is. But yeah, so in the end, what's going to wind up happening is for every vote that he potentially thinks he's going to gain on the left, he's going to lose 5 to 10 on the right on the right or in the middle. And he's going to wind up losing because he's decided that, he's not going to stand up for the fundamental right for Canadians to be able to defend themselves.
That's it. That's right. And listen, they're still a huge country, lots of outdoor space. You get up in northern Canada and everybody's carrying 2 guns,
Yep.
Rifle and a sidearm. It's just now when you get down into cities, and what's happened, Greg, all of the major cities are now becoming their Liberal Party control, their Trudeau Party control. They've had a bunch of immigrants over the last 40, 50 years bringing in these anti-gun, ideas as well. So it's Canada has made the turn. We welcome everyone with open arms, eh? And now they have a new country completely with a new set of rules and new dynamics. So that's what happens when you turn over.
Canada, America's hat.
America's hat, yeah. It's like our attic. I forget it's up there, and every once in a while you go up there and you find some cool stuff, and you're like, hey, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, but you don't want to spend too much time up there. It's not a cool place to live.
Yeah, it's cold in the attic. It's going to be up there too long, Every once in a while, have some fun. Go up there and get some Molson 33, eh? That stuff drinks like water. All right, parting shot. I'm going to let you intro this one, Craig. You found this one, and I will laugh too much through this intro, so I'm going to let you do it.
All right. So first of all, we all know that President Biden is not completely all there. All right, anyone who's watched any bit of his speeches, any bit of his presentations, anything that he's doing knows that there are these times when he just gets utterly confused. And I always thought maybe he was suffering, maybe suffering a stroke or maybe he's just suffering dementia. But we've actually discovered that there is a method to the madness. There is a language that is an underpinning of the things that Joe Biden is saying. And so to help you better understand this new language known as Bidenese, there's a video circulating around the Webernets to explain some of the key phrases that are used by our president. And it's a little bit of a long video, but I think you guys are going to very, very much enjoy it. I think you are going to be quite educated and edified. So let me go ahead and pull this puppet up right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I am going to teach you how to speak Bidenese. I'm going to teach you a few words and then we'll get the proper pronunciation and context from the master himself, President Joe Biden. The first word I'm going to teach you today is nexnosrent. Nexnosrent. President Biden will now demonstrate this word for us.
Donald Trump does pose an external threat to this It's not hypothetical.
It's not hypothetical. Next, Nilsrent. Okay, the next word we've got is Badikefker. Badikefker. Say it. Try it. Badikefker. President Biden.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Next, my bus been wet. Now, a common error on this one is people put the stress on the wrong syllable. It's not my bus been wet. It's not my bus been wet. It's my bus been wet. Say it. My bus been wet.
My bus been wet.
Next, we have a word that's much simpler. Palmist. Palmist. Can you say palmist? President Biden, palmist.
And if we do, and I'm sure we can proclaim the palmist with the palmist who wrote these following words.
All right, now that you've got 4 words in the bag, we're going to move on to a really complex Bidenese word. Do you think you're ready for it? You're going to really have to pay attention here. This is sort of advanced level Bidenese. Very long word, okay? This is what it is. It's a very long word. Are you ready? Truender dash dubba de pressure. Truender dash dubba de pressure. One word. One word. Truender dash dubba de pressure. Say it a little more quickly. Truender dash dubba de pressure. Truender dash dubba de pressure. President Biden, go.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Truender dash dubba de pressure.
Truender dash dunder de pressure.
True in the dash, double the pressure. True in the dash, double the pressure. My bussin' wet. My bussin' wet.
Oh my! I'm just how is it that anyone people have even just given up on trying to defend the president anymore? The left doesn't even. Have you ever noticed when you post stuff like this, you absolutely get absolutely nothing from the left anymore? They're just like, okay, yeah, we know.
Crickets. You get the crickets from them. That's what you get. They're like, what? We didn't see anything wrong. We didn't see anything wrong at all.
No. Yep. And once again, this is him. This is not manipulating his words. This is just literally him talking.
Yep.
You don't even have to edit it. It's just let him talk.
This guy, imagine if he answered questions. What you get in that?
Well, yeah. See, that's the other thing is, imagine him actually answering any questions, which, by the way, he doesn't do because he's not allowed to. Now we know
answering questions like Steve Carell's character in Evan Almighty. That's how he would answer questions. Well,
and the funny part is the reason I've come to realize the reason why they don't allow him to answer questions is not just because he's senile, but because they're afraid that because he's clearly now he's multilingual. They're afraid he'll answer in the wrong language.
That's right. Yeah, he does speak he speaks in the tongues. Let's see, he speaks in the Berberdash, whatever that one was, and quite fluent in Mabussinwit.
Okay, whatever those are. Well, sir, it's been a pleasure. I think our time has come. Do me a quick favor. Give a shout out to our sponsors. Let them know what's up.
Howdy, Grid Defense and Gorilla Machining. Grid Defense and Gorilla Machining. It's great to have you guys with us. As always, continue to be sponsors. Check them out. Check out their cool stuff. This Friday, we'll have another wonderful item from them to give away to help you with America's rifle build that you're doing at home.
Exactly. I also want to make sure to give a shout out to the California Republican Assembly, the conscience of the Republican Party. There's a recall election, folks. Please remember, get out, vote to recall Gavin Newsom. That's question 1. And question 2, well, decide on who you're going to vote for. I am likely going to be voting for Larry Elder. But there's tons of good, there's several good candidates on there. The main thing is, the best thing about every single candidate that is on question 2 is that they are not Gavin Newsom.
I voted for Larry Elder 3 times already.
Well, hey, with the way in which California kind of secures the vote, I would not be surprised at all.
No, listen, I got my unsolicited absentee ballot in the mail 3 times, so I sent it back. That's how it works. Vote early,
Fun.
vote often. Yep,
Fun
yep.
stuff, fun stuff. Well, anyway, folks, that's going to be it. Please remember, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about The Rundown. Now, remember, you may be watching us on the California Republican Assembly, on Arms Room Radio, on 2A News, but the place to subscribe is our YouTube channel, which is you'll find at therundown.us or on our Facebook page. By the way, you can also listen to us. We are available. Anchor.fm is where our main hub, but we're also on Google Podcasts and we're on Spotify. Soon to be coming to iTunes and Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcast.
All right, folks. We'll talk to you later.